Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a very long hot minute since I have made a video or anything for that matter. It's been a crazy year to say the least. I think last I touched base, I was sick. I think it was when I had COVID. But now I don't have COVID anymore, but I am currently still sick, so if I sound congested, that's why. But yeah, before I start in my little life update, I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And the New Year is right around the corner, and I hope you guys all have a great day. I actually get that day off, and so I'm very much looking forward to it. I haven't gotten the holidays off in a few years working in the hospital, but now I still work for my company in Providence. I just am no longer a CNA. That's like a part-time thing. I am a medical apprentice. And I love it. Like, that was probably my big change that I did this year. I did it over the summer. I did it in August, so I finished out my time as a CNA, which, as like you all know, like, I love taking care of people, and taking care of people is something that brings me comfort. I understand what it's like on both aspects, being the patient and having to stare at these white walls, being vulnerable and not being able to, do the things you used to do by yourself, and having to rely on help to get what you need or help you bathe, dress. Like, it's a lot, and it is a little bit diminishing. I don't know if that's quite the word I'm trying to describe, but it can be a little bit difficult when you're used to just being do things for yourself, and now you have to have other people. It does feel a little bit hard, but I was really excited to transition. I like the medical field, and I love constantly learning and wanted to expand my horizon, and being a student so far has been interesting. We've learned so much, and the schooling behind it, like, we get the ability to work ahead, and I am completely done with school portion of it. I'm just now, like, the way, like, our program is through Providence, like, you work on the job, and so I'm getting all my on-the-job training, learning. I have ran into a few difficulties. Number one being I can't actually hear blood pressures very well. If you're above 130, I can hear it out of this ear, but this ear not so much. Last November I got sick, and that was rough. Having to go to the hospital. I had meningitis, so I had to do a spinal tap, and that went really south. Ended up having to have emergency surgery to fix the spinal fluid leakage. So definitely the year didn't quite start where I wanted to. It was a little bit bumpy, but in that process, really this entire year I've learned to really just have a lot of grace for myself, and to be patient, that things take time, and it is so hard to be patient and wait and hope that, like, what you need and want gets to you. It was very hard. I struggled along the way with it, because just being sick all the time, and then not kind of knowing where I wanted to be in life, I like the medical field, but I was starting to get to the point of burnout, and burnout's a real thing in the medical field, like hardcore, and being a CNA is a very underlooked position at times. We are slammed a lot of the times and short-staffed a lot. Made it exhausting. It was a lot of relentless hours, and I mean, obviously I do the job because I love taking care of the patients. I don't just do it for the pay. Like, I genuinely knew it was something I'm good at and could help at, because like I said, I've been on those both sides. But it definitely, the year kind of started like up here and slowly kind of just declined. This year really brought out the worst in me. This year challenged me in more ways than one can be challenged, but it's also brought out the strongest version of me. I didn't think it was possible to like keep fighting a battle, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's exhausting and it's a lot, and it takes a lot of time and effort and patience and grace. This year kind of started off doing a huge trial. I did a trial against a family member that was extremely hard to do. If you've ever had to testify against a family member, you know where I'm coming from when I say that it is not easy. I had to be really vulnerable and share my journey and truths, and in the end, obviously, the outcome went the way I wanted it, and I'm very happy with it. It's still hard because it is a family member, and I'm empathetic, so I feel for both parties. But I also know like it was the right thing to do what I did reporting, and the right thing to go to trial, to just get it out there. So I've spent the last several months trying to work on my healing journey, and to fix my trauma. I don't know how many of you guys have read The Body Keeps the Score, or something like that. How much your trauma really does affect your body. You might be okay with it up here, but your body still remembers it. And I very much, when I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I like to put aside my problems, like kind of sweep it under the rug and not think about it until I have to think about it, which I know is not like the best advice. Not saying take that advice either. It was what worked for me. If I didn't have to think about it, I didn't have to worry, I just wanted to just push past. And I did. I had to be extremely vulnerable and strong, and I am proud of myself for doing hard things. I've done a lot of it. I also ended up, I was in a relationship that didn't go quite as well, and it ended in pregnancy that I actually ended up miscarrying on, which is really hard to, it was hard to feel grief for myself in the beginning, because I didn't know, like I had never met this baby, and I never got the chance to hold the little tiny thing, like we called it little poppy seed, because that's the size it was when I first found out, and it just kind of stuck. But it definitely, I didn't know you could love something so much that you had never met, and I'm gonna try to do this without crying at all. I didn't think it would be as hard to heal from, even though like it took a long time to not beat myself up about it. Like, what did I do wrong? Did I not eat the right things? Did I just like, I know like deep down I did. I followed like everything you're supposed to do, but I couldn't help but like get stuck in that, and it's kind of a vicious cycle if I'm being honest. It's not easy miscarrying, and I feel for anybody who's ever had to go through that. It's hard. I miss my tiny little angel baby, but I know that it's in heaven and I will meet again with it one day. But yeah, that took a good portion of my summer. And then, like I said, I've been sick. Many of you guys know, I believe I mentioned it in the last video, that I have a neurogenic bladder, and just kind of things didn't work out, like the diabetic portion. Like it just got harder to start dealing with insulin highs and insulin lows. And I ended up starting to get to the point where I was crashing too low, and that was really, really difficult because at the time I didn't see the signs to get it, and usually someone else, if I'm with, kind of picked up on the cues that something was wrong before I did, because it was happening so fast until I got a Dexcom, and a Dexcom literally has changed my life. Easier to monitor so that when I have these lows, it's more manageable, and I can control it before I black out, because I was doing that a ton. And it wasn't like dropping like 10-20 points, and it was like 150 to 100 points. Drastic drop like that, it's too much for anybody, and it results in blackouts. So I didn't know why that was happening. That started to happen a lot more often. I started getting other symptoms that weren't normal. I was extremely fatigued. I was losing weight rapidly. Like I was losing it, and I just started losing appetite. It just got to a point where it was too much, and I'm incredibly grateful for my PCP. She's the best human I've ever met. And if you're in the Spokane area, check out Thread Health, because literally she's good at what she does. She genuinely cares. She will work so hard to get what you need. It's a private practice thing she does, so it's membership based, but she works incredibly hard and has worked with all my specialties, which isn't like easy doing it by yourself, but she did, and she was incredible about it. She was patient with me. There are many times she has seen my highs and lows of being a mess, but she stuck through it. She helped me get to the right specialties, because the problem I was having is I was going to these specialties like I'm asked to go to, but the specialties only were treating me for the specialty that they're in. So like urology was just treating me for bladder issues and not being able to, like, having UTIs and stuff, and endocrinology is just dealing with, diabetes, not like everyone working together as a whole and realizing, let's just put the pieces together because something's not adding up. Because that was the issue I was having with all these specialties, is we were hitting a wall, and I was starting to feel extremely crazy. It's hard being gaslit by medical providers when they're like, we don't know, like atomically nothing's wrong, which it's hard on your mental health when you hear it like that, because it's like, if I just try harder, I did everything. I did the therapies, I still do the therapies, I did the pelvic floor therapies, like I ate the things I was asked, I took the medications, and just I wasn't seeing improvement. Nobody was, hence why I'm incredibly lucky to have the PCP that I have. She stuck with it and stuck with me when I was miserable, and never gave up, and finally got the specialties to start talking, to kind of work together of like why I'm sick. And after enough lows, there's specific tests you can take when you're extremely low in your glucose, and one thing led to another, more scans. I got an answer a couple weeks ago, and never did I imagine the answer that I got that I would ever get. I know no one's ever expects to hear what they hear. Like, everyone just kept saying it's gonna be an autoimmune thing, like it will just figure it out. And then I ended up, after doing PET scans, that they found neuroendocrine tumors. And so I went in for a biopsy on those. I tried to stay positive in that and not, try not to worry, which is easier said than done. When it did come back, I definitely knew it was bad news when my doctors called me during the middle of work shift. Nobody ever wants to hear they have the C word. I have a hard time even saying it, because in a way I'm still in denial about it. It's hard to know that you have cancer and that it's, although they're small tumors that I have enough of them that these tiny things are ruining my life. I'm 29 years old and I feel like an old person, constantly going to the doctors. I'm sick because I'm immunocompromised, and it was like a relief to know that I was finally getting an answer, but it was also like a gut punch, because I never did I think we would get to this place. I knew my doctor had the suggestion. I mean, we were throwing around big diagnoses and trying to figure those out, and I was like, no, that's not gonna be me. Like, we're not gonna find anything because that's the luck I've had, although blood work will say I have something. It is a gut punch still to this day to know that I have cancer. And right now it's been kind of like a waiting game of getting into all the oncologists and figuring out treatment plan, what's the best option. My case is a little complicated. The tumors I have are rare, and so treatment is important to figure out, to make sure that it's the best thing to do. And so I know my case was brought to like a tumor board to figure out what is the best option for me, where do we go here from here, how does this look going forward. And it's been hard because like I said before, if I have something bothering me, I don't really want to like just deal with it. Like, if I don't have to think about it, I'm not gonna think about it. I'll sweep it under the rug. But this is not something obviously I can sweep under the rug. It is hard. I am struggling with knowing how, like, what is the best way to go. I'm 29 and all I want is my life back. I want to be able to do the sports that I used to do. I want to be the active adventure person, go try stuff without being too exhausted and having not be able to do it or cancel plans. Like, just this year has tested me in every level, and it's honestly brought out the worst in me. And I'm incredibly grateful for the people that I live with who have been patient with me, because I have not been easy. I don't always hide emotions well, especially when something's bothering me. It's hard. I'm angry, I'm mad, it's not fair, and I know life is not fair. Nobody asks for this, but it's just, I feel gutted. Like, I don't know how we didn't see this coming. How come it took so long? Because honestly, I've been sick since 2021, and to know that what I went through in 2021, when they said I had the functional neurological disorder, they're all now saying like probably wasn't ever that to begin with, that it just was a slow progressing tumors because they blended in with my insides. I guess they look like tissue or something. And I'm still trying to process and understand it and be okay with actually saying cancer. I know like I'm gonna fight this like I fought everything else this year. It's just, it takes a toll. And mentally this year it broke me. This year broke me. 2023 absolutely broke me. When I say that this year is gonna be my year, I'm waiting for that. I've been so patient, and I just want that clarity to just feel like a normal human. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be worried all the time. I was miserable. Like, I've missed so much work this year, and I'm so incredibly grateful for FMLA because it has helped me a bunch. And I know going forward, I'm gonna have to rely on that. I don't like knowing that like what I have ahead is gonna be a hard ass journey, but I know like I can't give up. Although I've wanted to this year, the amount of times I've wanted to throw in the rag and just call it quits is a lot. But I know I get up in the morning every day to fight all this, not just for my littles that I'm with and for my other nieces and nephews. I don't know what it is that keeps me getting up in the morning to fight, but I know I have to, and I'm incredibly grateful for the team of oncologists that I have right now. They've all been good, and especially to my PCP, who has really been there for me to help me, and the people that I live with. I know I have not been the best human with all my emotions and just dealing with life. I am just grateful for their support and for everyone else who has been there. My mom's been really helpful. My friends, like, it's nice to know I have people, even though at times I feel like I know people are there, but unless like you're walking through it, sometimes it feels like I'm doing it alone. Even though I know I'm not, I'm surrounded by people who love me and who would do anything to help me. I said I wasn't gonna cry, I'm sorry. This has just been hard. This year literally has been the worst year I've ever had. And I'm trying to see the best in it, and instead of blaming God, I'm trying really hard to ask, what am I supposed to learn in this process? And it's not easy. It's hard. But I have some awesome people. My boss I have right now at work is so good. She's my constant daily reminder. She always reminds me to take care of myself and to have grace, that I'm not, just because I can't hear and stuff and I'm gonna be missing work a lot, like it's still there. Like, it's nice to know that my job will still be waiting for me, that there are still people that are there. It's been nice. So going into 2024, I know it's gonna be hard, but I'm hoping 2024 is my year of happiness and relief and healing, truly healing after the year that I've gone through. And I know I'm going to be facing my biggest battle right now, but I know I have good people behind me and people who care and will remind me to take care of myself, because there have been times that I've needed that. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for it all. Also, going into 2024, I will finally be able to hear. I am getting hearing aids, and it's crazy that I even lost hearing. Like, I apparently lost it because of having untreated so many ear infections and getting tubes placed. I am grateful for our technology that we have and for the doctors. Like, we've come such a long way in treatments for cancers. We've come a long way with technology for like hearing aids and for people who need that. Like, my work is helping provide like a stethoscope that I can use for my hearing aids so that I can hear with hearing aids so that I can do my job properly and effectively. 2024, I really hope that this is my year of happiness, finding joy, just finding peace in all this, and hoping that I, get a place of my own. That's something that I'm really trying to do. It's really expensive living here, so if not, my goal is to just like get a roommate situation. I'm ready to start fresh in 2024. I hope can give me that. So I hope everyone has a good New Year's. I'm sorry that I was an emotional wreck, and I'm sorry this video is long. And if you made it this far, I want to thank you for dealing with me. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm not on here as often as I am on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, so I will put those down below. But yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Here's to 2024 and to kick cancer's butts.